we're going to drill a hole in the floor.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Shalaina.
And this is our 2008 long wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter that we've called Bodge.
So follow us as we build our tiny home on wheels and begin our travelling adventure.
So just started to lay the timber battens for the it's going to be the floor, and then in the gaps I'm going to put some insulation and then some foil over the top just to insulate that as well. Just had to bring everything in because it started raining again. But this just turned up. So these are the sound deadening panels that we're putting on these parts of the vans. Supposedly it just stops that noise, but let's see if they work. So I don't know how well this is going to come out on camera. This is the untreated one. And then this is the treated one. It's much deader. You see a lot less vibration. So like when we're parked up somewhere, cars going past, things like that, and lorries going past. So the next step, now that the frame is mostly down, is to start fitting the polystyrene in the gaps. But first I'm going to put this foil wrapped around the wheel arches, just to provide a bit more insulation around those wheel arches. This is basically just bubble wrap with silver foil glued to both sides of it. But this will provide us some really good insulation around the wheel arches and any gaps that are around there. So I'm basically just going to be spraying it with this carpet adhesive and then just sort of wrapping it around the contours of the wheel arch, and just to get it nice and tight against that.
The Prime Minister has announced the most drastic limits to our lives.
The United Kingdom is now on total lockdown.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades.
Just about to drill a hole in the underside of the van for the drop vent, which is going to go in the gas cupboard, which is going to be here, and that's going to supply gas for the gas cooktop.
And we have a hole.
Run. It's going to stay connect from there, and the shower heater from there. And then, is this running off the LED strip lights as well? Or?
So the wiring's pretty much done now. We've just got this conduit, so we've just installed all this conduit over the wires to just tidy it up a little bit, and then that'll run down to the front of the van, and then these are sort of the bus bars for the main lights that are going to be running down the middle of the van. This is the Arctic Blue flexi cable for the 230 volt stuff, so we're going to have a plug socket down there, and some others towards the front of the van, which I'll show you later. And then that'll all run down this conduit and then that's where the battery's going to be. And then we've just put the fuse box up there just to try and figure out how it's all going to fit together. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all the wiring done. We've had the insulation delivered today. We've gone for this eco roll loft insulation, and then we've got some Celotex boards that are going to go in these big recesses here, and then in the ceiling.
So we just finished putting the insulation in these gaps, and Ryan's just cut the Celotex and we're putting those in the gaps there. Putting these up on the ceiling, and now Ryan's going to put the insulation foam into the gaps.
We're going to use this expanding foam, so we'll just spray that in these cavities, and that will expand out and just give us a bit more insulation in those gaps. So the expanding foam didn't quite go to plan. It's very messy and it doesn't seem to stick. So we've given up with that, and we've just we had a lot of this soft insulation left over, so we've just used that in the roof gaps. But yeah, that should do the job just as well. So now we're just tidying up, and we're going to attempt to fit the vapor barrier, and that's going to go up the side, across the ceiling and down the other side in one complete sheet, and then that will be taped together with this foil tape to create a complete vapor barrier and stop any moisture. So yeah, we're going to do that now.
Good morning. So, change of plan with the insulation. We had trouble sticking the insulation board up. We used tape, glue, but then we found out we're supposed to use these stick pins. So we've got those now. We've just stick some on, and Ryan's going to put the insulation board on. I think that last footage I took when Ryan was putting this insulation board on, it was quite blurry, so I'm just gonna show you now. Obviously it's got loads of tape on it because we tried to tape it on before because it wouldn't stick, but we put the stick pins on now, so hopefully that will stay on.